देहिनस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारो तथा देहान्तरं प्राप्ति धीरस्य प्रणमय. So, this dead body, when a man dies, Dhira Tatanamuyati, those who are Dhira, Dhira means sober, they are not bewildered. There are two classes of men, Dhira and Adhira. Dhira means those who are not agitated. They know things as they are. So, Adhira means those who are uncontrolled. The poet Kalidas has described Dhira and Adhira with reference to Lord Shiva in his book Kumar Sambhava. So, Dhira means a person who is not agitated in spite of the cause of agitation being present. There are so many causes of agitation, but a person, in spite of being persuaded by the cause of agitation, just like a young man, young woman, when they are present, naturally they become agitated. In the Shastra it is said, just like fire and butter. If you put butter before the fire, automatically it melts. Similarly, a woman is considered as fire and the man is considered as butter. So this is natural. But a person who is not agitated is called Dhira. So when a man dies, the man's relatives lament, oh, my father has gone, my sister has gone, like that. But if you become Dhira, then you are not Dhira. Just like your friend or your father moves from this apartment to another apartment, who is agitated? No, that's all right. He was in this apartment, now he has gone to another apartment. And there is no question of agitation or being perturbed. Similarly, one who knows the process of transmigration of the soul from one body to another, he is not agitated at the death of his friend or relative. He knows everything. And he knows where his friend has gone. With reference to the Shastra, just like your friend has gone to India, how do you know? You know that he purchased a ticket for India and he has gone to India. So there is no need of agitation. Oh, here is gone, where he has gone, where he has gone. Similarly, when a man dies, one who is Dhira, here especially the word is used, Dhira Statana Muyati. Muyati means bewildered. Tatha Dehantaram Prati, just like the parent, the child is still changing body. The mother knows my child was 6 inches long within my womb. When he came out, he was 12 inches long, then 13 inches, 14 inches, in this way, now 3 feet, 4 feet. The mother is not agitated, the child is changing body. Similarly, a dhira, one who knows the laws of transmigration of the soul, he does not lament at the death of his father or mother. He knows that my father has now gone to such and such place. That also he can know. How? With reference to the Shastra. Therefore, Vedanta Sutra says that you should see everything through the Shastra. Shastra Chakshushya. Now there is one rascal. He is preaching there is no need of Shastra. Without Shastra, how you can make progress? Just like you are seeing the sun daily, just like a disk. But if you through the Shastra you see, geography, then you will understand the sun is 1400,000 times bigger than the sun. So how do you know? You have not gone to the sun planet, but how do you know that it is 90 million miles away from your side? And it is 1400,000 times bigger than the sun. How do you know? Through the Shastra, through the books. So, therefore you should see through the Shastra, authoritative Shastra, books. What we are speaking about the moon planet, sun planet, or God, He is above, He is Vaikuntha Loka, spiritual world, so many things we are talking. How we are talking? We are talking through the Vedic literature. Because Vedic literature is authoritative. According to Vedic civilization, we don't accept any book written by a rascal. We accept the authority of the Vedas. What is stated there in the Vedas we accept, without any argument. For example, there are many examples. One of the examples is that the Veda says that if you touch the stool of an animal, even in your own stool, that is the system. In India I stayed there, not in the city, but in the villages, you will see, even ordinary man, he goes to pass stool in the field, and just after passing stool he will take bath, just to purify himself, change his clothes. That is the Shastric injunction. But in one place it is said that the stool of the cow is pure. Now if you argue that one place you say that the stool of an animal is impure, even your own stool, if you touch you have to take bath, how is that? Another animal stool is say pure. This is superficially contradiction. But those who are following strictly the Vedic principle, they will accept that the stool of cow or cow dung is pure. Now, if you argue why it is pure, then you come to a modern chemical analysis and you will find the cow dung is full of antiseptic properties. It has been examined in Calcutta by one doctor, Rajmohan Ghosh. So therefore the basic injunction is so perfect. we, ordinary human beings, we have got 4 defects. First of all, we commit mistake. In big man, they commit mistake. Because to any human, committing mistake is not a disqualification. As a human being, he is prone to commit mistake. Everyone accepts. E and O-E. Errors and omission accept. Similarly, a man is innocent. Illusion means, just like the example of illusion is the marriage. In the desert or in very scorching heat, summer season, you can find before your car there is water, reflection. This is called illusion. There is no water, but it appears there is vast mass of water. The animals are bewildered. They are thirsty. They go to the desert to drink water. Where is water in the desert? This is called illusion. The mistake, to commit mistake, to become illusion, and to the propensity of cheating. Every man is imperfect, but he is talking just like perfect. That is called cheating. The so-called scientists, philosophers, they are theorizing. It may be, perhaps, what is this knowledge? Perhaps it may be, that is not knowledge. Say definitely, but nobody can say definitely. The doctor is giving medicine, but he is not definitely sure whether the patient will die or live. If you ask him whether the patient is going to live, oh, that depends on God. Ultimately depends on God. Although he is posing himself that authorized, is giving scientific medicine. If you are giving scientific medicine, why you are not sure? This is called cheating. One is not sure, still he says, I am scientific man. This is one defect. And of all this defect, there is sublime defect that our senses are imperfect. All our senses. The same thing is like with our eyes, we see daily the sun, but we see just like it is. Due to our imperfect senses, we see a planet which is 1400,000 times bigger than this planet. We are seeing just like it is. That means we cannot see very distant place or nearest. Even we cannot see our eyes, which is just smeared over the eyes, packed, the packing material of the eyes, we cannot see. So we have to accept these things, that we are prone to commit mistake. We are illusion, we cheat, and our senses are imperfect. Then how I can give you perfect knowledge? That is not possible. But if you accept the basic knowledge, just like I gave you the example, basic knowledge says sometimes contradictory, that the cow dung, the stool of an animal, is pure. And if you analyze, you will find it is pure. Our process of acquiring knowledge is from the Vedas. Vedasya sabdaya hameva vedyam. And what is the purpose of the Vedas? Why Vedic knowledge is perfect? Because it is spoken by God. God is perfect. And whatever He speaks, that is perfect. Therefore God is called, God is good. all good. Whatever he does, whatever he speaks, everything is good, perfect. So we are receiving knowledge of the transmigration of the soul from God, Krishna. Therefore it is perfect. He said, Dhirastattanamuyati, after the death of a person, one should not be bewildered. He should be dhira. He should be sober to know how things are happening. That is called knowledge. Now after the passing away of the soul from this body, how the soul accepts another body. That also you learn from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. We can see with our material eyes this gross body, the gross covering made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. But there is another cover. What is that? Mind, intelligence and ego. So you cannot see mind, you cannot see intelligence, neither you can see ego. And what to see about the soul? The soul is still finite. The dimension of the soul is mentioned in the Vedas. Kesadra sadobhavasya sarvadha kalpitasya cha. Just the tip of your hair is divided into 100 parts. And again take that 100 part and divide again into another 100 part. That means 1/10,000 part of the tip of hair is the length and breadth of the soul. So how you can see? You can simply perceive that there is so, and it is confirmed by the authorities of Vedas. And how the soul passing from one body to another, that also you can hear how it is passing. The example is given. Just like this, some good smell, flavor is passing by the air, and you smell, you feel, oh, very nice smell, but you cannot see the smell, neither the carrier of the smell. The carrier of the smell is the air, and smell, it is still finite, but when it comes before your nose, the instrument, you understand that there is very nice flavor passing. You can experience, although you cannot see, you cannot touch, you cannot taste. So it is not that sometimes things which are beyond the taste of our material senses, they are not existing. That is foolishness. We must accept that our senses are imperfect. So how we can understand everything by the test of experimental knowledge? No. Therefore, things which are beyond your perception, you have to accept it by hearing from the authoritative soul. Just like another example. If you want to see who is your actual father, that is not even possible to make an experiment who is your father. There may be some experimental. But if you ask your mother, authority, mother, who is my father? The mother says, this gentleman is your father. You have to accept, that's all. You cannot make any experiment. Neither it is possible to understand who is your father by experimental knowledge. Then how you can make experiment, the Supreme Father God, That's not possible. Simply you have to hear from the authoritative sources. But you can make some experiment. But that is not very important thing. The important thing is to hear from the authorized person. That is important. Therefore Vedas are called Shruti. Shruti means oral reception. You have to hear. Just like when you are sleeping, all your other senses are not active. But here, if somebody is coming, your enemy, to hurt you, and your friend says, Mr. Such and such, wake up, wake up. So you can hear and you wake up and see that somebody is coming. So the ear is very important. Srotriyam Brahmanishtam. Anyone who has heard perfectly from the disciplic succession of spiritual master, he is perfect. Acharyavan Purusha Veda. Acharya means, Acharya Ban means possession. One who has possessed an authorized spiritual master, he knows. Veda. Veda means knowledge, knows. So, the ultimate purpose of knowing, we are knowing things, so many things we are knowing. There are hundreds and thousands. Minam Santi Sahasrasu. Sotobhyadi Nirajendra Minam Santi Sahasrasu. Apasyatam Atmatattam Grihishu Griyamedina. Those who are blind, apasyatam Atmatattam, blind about understanding this soul, they have got many thousands and thousands of matter, subject matter for hearing. Useless. The human life is meant for understanding what I am, and what is God, what is my relationship with God. That is the real purpose of human life. Otherwise, where is food, where is shelter, where is service, where is sex? These are the inquiries of the animals also. The home also inquiring where is stool, where is stool, where is stool. The stool eater, he is also working hard. Where is stool, where is stool, where is stool. Very good thing, that's very creditable task. To work hard day and night for finding out where is stool. This is false business. So, at the present moment, the civilization is going on. Where is food, where is apartment, where is sex, and where is defense? So these are the inquiries of the animals. They are also searching where is food, where is shelter, where is sex, and where is defense. Aharam nidra bhayamantunam samanamitas pasudita. The human life is meant for inquiring where is God. That is human life. Not where is food. That is false business. So we should not encourage this false civilization. False civilization is to work hard day and night to find out where is food, where is shelter, where is sex, and where is defense. Wrong type of civilization. The human civilization means where is Brahma, the absolute soul. Atharva Brahma Jigyasa. That is the Vedanta Sutta. Where is God? What I am? These are different things. So, personally, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is teaching that the soul transmigrates. Tatha Dehantaram Prapti. Dehantaram Prapti means transmigrating from one body to another. Dhira Satanamiyati. Those who are dhira, sober, full of knowledge, they are not doing that. They are not part of. Because he knows that my father or brother and everything is said to be dead. It is he is not dead. This gross body, this coating of the body has stopped. It is old enough, or by some reason it is torn. It is no longer usable. Therefore, the soul has left this gross body and but being carried by the subtle body, mind, intelligence, ego, he has gone to accept another gross body. This is transmigration. Tatha Dehandram Prapti. Just like the mother knows my baby who was on my lap, now as a boy he is running. So she is not lamenting. She knows that that's my child, same child. Simply transform the body. Similarly, we should not lament when a man dies. We should not lament. Because Arjuna was thinking in terms of the body. In the battlefield, he was bewildered. Whether because the other side were all relatives. Therefore Krishna is giving him the knowledge that don't think that your father or your grandfather or your brother, they will be finished. No. They will simply, if you kill, they will simply transfer to another body. Better you consider that your grandfather is possessing now an old body. If you kill your grandfather in the battlefield, because formerly the war was declared not whimsically. The war was also religious war. So in the religious war, the Kshatriyas were fighting, not the Shudras, not the Brahmins, not the Vaishnavas. There were castes of fighting. Not like this, where a Shudra is elected a president. He is not fighting, he is in safe place, and he is simply directing, you go and fight. Let me see how they go. No. The king, the Kshatriya, he will come forth in the front of fight. That was fight. If the king is killed by the opposite party, then it is declared that they are victorious. No more fight. No more unnecessary killing other persons. The aim was to kill the king. The king was on the front. The other party was also front. The king is fighting with king. And the soldiers are fighting with soldiers. So when the king is killed, then the other party becomes victorious. That was the process of war. Not that releasing atomic bomb from the sky and kill so many innocent persons. No, that is not war. So, war, if it is fought on principle, on religious principle, that is called dharma yuddha. That is not prohibited. But this killing process, unnecessarily, innocent man, that is not dharma yuddha. That is irregular fighting. That kind of war is not sanctioned by the Vedas. So dhira sartan mohyati. Now you can say, I cannot see how my father has passed from this body to another body. That you have to know from the Shastra. You do not know so many things, but if you read books, authorized books, then you understand things are there. The same example, that you do not know how big the sun planet is, but when you read books, scientific books, you understand that it is 1400,000 times bigger than the sun. Similarly, if you are in knowledge, then you can understand where your father has gone. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Urdham gachanti sattvasva madhye tishtanti rajasa jaganna gunamittista adho gachanti tamasa. That urdham gachanti sattvasva, those who are situated in Brahminical qualification, goodness, modes of goodness, they are promoted to the higher planetary system. You are, at modern times, they are trying to go to the higher planetary system by machine. It is not possible. But if you place yourself in the modes of goodness, you can go to any higher planetary system, up to Brahmaloka. Urdham gachanti sattvasva. There are 3 planetary systems, Triloki. The higher planetary system, the middle planetary system, and the lower planetary system. So we are, at the present moment, Bhuloka. Bhuloka, middle planetary system. Above this there is Bhuvoloka. Above that there is Saroloka. There is Janaloka. There is Tapaloka. There is Mahaloka. There is Satyaloka. There is Siddhaloka. There is Brahmaloka. What do they name? No. The modern astronomers, they do not know anything. They do not know what is there in the moon planet. They do not know what is there in the sun planet, in the Venus, nothing. Still they are very much proud. But if you read Vedas, you get all the information of the universe, not only this universe, beyond the universe. Beyond parastasmatu bhavanya bhaktya sanatana. There is another nature which is never annihilated. In this material nature, everything is annihilated. Bhutta praliyate. Here, just like your body is produced at a certain date by the father and mother, and it will be finished at a certain date. Similarly, this whole cosmic manifestation, this material world, innumerable universes, they have been produced at a certain date and they will be finished at a certain date. Everything will be finished. But there is another nature where the planets are everlasting. They are called Vaikuntha Loka. Vaikuntha Loka, Vaikuntha means Vigata Kuntha Jasmat. Kuntha means anxiety. Here we are full of anxieties. What will happen next? Fearful, always. When my death will take place? What will be the political situation? Where shall I eat? Where shall I sleep? Always full of anxieties. Anyone, bird, beast, animal, human being, full of anxieties. Because the material world is like that. You have to be full of anxiety. But there is another world where there is no anxiety. That is called Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha Vigata Kuntha. Kuntha means anxiety. So, these information we get from the Shastras, from the Vedas, and which we become intelligent enough to understand the Shastras, then our life is successful, human life. Otherwise, if we live like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, and depending, without any other knowledge, which I am destined to gain in this life, orthodox, Prahlad Maharaj said, Kaumaro vacharit prabdo dharman bhagavatani durlabam manasam janmam orthodam tadapi adhruvam. He advises that from the very beginning of life, Kaumara means 5 years to 10 years. This space, this span of life is called Kaumara. Kaumara Jovana Jara, that as we are reading here. Kaumara Jovana Jara. So Kaumara means boy's life. So, Kaumara acharit pragyo dharman bhagavatani. A human being, he should learn about the Bhagavad Dharma from the beginning of his Kaumara age. Not that keep it aside. When I shall become old man, then I shall read scriptures. No. Kaumara, from the mind, Kaumara acharit prajna. If one is actually having sense, of course, a boy has no sense. It is the duty of the father and mother to engage the child, boy, from the beginning of his life in the matter of devotion and service, Bhagavata. Fortunately, we got a very nice father. He engaged us in this devotional service from the very beginning of our life. So it is the duty of every father, every stage, every guru, every friend, every relative, how to engage the boy in spiritual life. Kaumara acharit prajna. Shastra says, Pita nasasya, the janani nasasya. One should not become father, one should not become mother. Namo chayirja samudita mrittum. The father and mother's duty is to the children that this child has come to me in my home, mother. This is the last. He will have no more come back to the home of mother. I will teach him in such a way that he will be liberated. That is the duty of the father and mother. If one father and mother is not able to coach and teach his children like that, how to get out of this entanglement of birth and death, he should not become father and mother. That is real contraceptive method. I should not produce cats and dogs. I should produce a child who will never come back again to another mother. He will be liberated. He will go back to home, back to God. That is the duty of the father and mother. Not that produce cats and dogs, and therefore the world is in trouble. They are fighting like cats and dogs. Because cats and dogs have been produced and they have not been trained up. No brahmachari system, no grihastha system, no bhagaprata system. Therefore the Vedic conception of civilization is the perfect for human society. Chaturvarnam maya system gunakarma vibhav. You find everything in Bhagavad Gita. So, first of all you have to understand that we are spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi, Brahma. I am not matter, I am spirit. Aham Brahmasmi. These are Vedic words. Soham. Soham that does mean I am God. I am godly, I am part and parcel. As God is in quality, so I am also in quality. Just like a drop of ocean water, qualitatively it is the same as the vast mass of water in the sea. But now the drop of water is equal to the vast mass of water. Similarly, in quality, Soham, I am that means the Supreme God, as He is in quality, I am also the same in quality. Soham. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahma. I am not this matter. I am spirit soul. These are the knowledge. So when one comes to that knowledge, Brahma Bhuto, now we are not Brahma Bhuto, Prakita Bhuto, Jiva Bhuto, the exact one. Jiva Bhuto Mahabhava, Jayayidam Dhajate Jagat. The world is being maintained by this Jiva Bhuta, with living entities. Just like this city of Manila is very important, so long the living entities are there. If there are no living entities, nobody will prepare to purchase the whole land, even for nothing. What do you do with the dead matter? The dead matter has no value. It is valuable so long we utilize it in different purposes. Otherwise it has no value. A nice motor car with nice machine, first class, it has value so long it is driven by a living entity. Otherwise who cares for it? Nobody cares. Jiva Bhuta Mahabhava Udayidam. Therefore, matter, however valuable it may be, it is inferior to the spirit. The spirit is superior energy of God. Matter is inferior energy of God. So the material energy is external energy, and we are trying to become happy by adjusting this external energy. That is the illusion. Suppose in this life you earn lots of money, make a big balance, and have a very nice skyscraper building, and good relatives, and friends, and position. That's nice. But when you leave this body, you do not know what you are going to become. Suppose, theoretically, you become next life a cat in the same skyscraper building, then what is your benefit? And there is possibility. Because your next body will be awarded by nature, according to your work, according to your mind, intelligence. So, you may have a very good bank balance and skyscraper building and dozens of motor cars. But you have created your mind just like cats and dogs, that you are getting the body of a cat and dog. The more concession will be allowed, because you have got attachment for the skyscraper building, you will be allowed to live there as a cat. This is the law of nature. So, if you are wasting our time in the business of cats and dogs and hogs, just try to understand how much loss you are suffering. The Krishna consciousness movement is giving you information. Don't be a loser. Become a gainer. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.